Well, today we're heading off to explore the gorge and the Boonjamulla National Park. Boonjamulla, or Rainbow Serpent Country, was formerly known as Lawn Hill National Park. It is one of Queensland's most scenic areas. The park features spectacular deep gorges, sandstone ridges and a limestone plateau with significant fossil fields. It is fed by crystal clear waters from Lawn Hill Creek and numerous freshwater springs from atop the limestone plateau, and the lush green vegetation on the gorge floor makes it a visual splendour. As we paddle slowly through the gorge, the Arrafuel fantail goes about its daily tasks. One of the activities on offer is to hire a canoe and make your way through the gorge. It was peaceful yet exciting as we manoeuvred the vessel around the rocky outcrops, making our way to Indari Falls, which is a great spot for a swim or just chill out, but we had a bit more adventure in mind. You can manhandle a canoe above the falls and continue on, which is what we did. What a great way to spend a day. We totally enjoyed every minute of it. Whilst there were some people about earlier, It was so peaceful on the return trip, and you're able to do this all at your own pace.
Sometimes it feels like you know the right way. Sometimes you just don't care at all. And when I'm holding you, I'm where I wanna be. You make me feel I'm closer to the sky. You and I still have that something.
After the canoeing adventure, we were back to Lawn Hill, where we walked part of the constant range walk. We were told that this would be our best chance to see a freshwater crocodile here in the wild, and we bloody did. How cool was that?
Why don't you come over? Why don't you come over? I'm standing on my feet with nothing more to say. And if you wanna walk with me.
Then we headed up the Island Stack Walk, which is an easy walk through the creekside vegetation to start with. Then it starts to increase in elevation until you reach the bit they call Tabletop. This takes in some pretty impressive views over the plateau. And then it was back for dinner.
Why don't you come over? Why don't you come over? Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt.
Today we travel across some private property from Lawn Hill to a little place called Kingfisher Camp, nestled on the banks of the Nicholson River. As we didn't have far to travel today, we decided to rise very early and make our way to the top of the walk to try and catch the sunrise. Oh my God, it was fantastic. The sun bathed the gorge cliffs and forest floor with its morning rays, and you could feel the whole environment coming to life to share another day. We sat on top of the plateau with a thermos of tea and a couple of muesli bars and soaked in this feeling that we were one with our surroundings.
To be a good man inside, did everything that you thought you should. Didn't seem to do you any good. I know you've tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. I know you tried so hard.
They told us there was about 5 gates along this track. This is number 9, and Liz is getting pretty good at it. Go you gate girl. lunch under the shade of river red gums. Oh, and the candy shorts, they're gone.
I still remember the look on your face, how you smiled the first time I met you. But when I look at you now, there's no trace. I guess it's all been erased. You tell me that it's over, that we just hurt each other, but we don't have to end up this way. We're underwater.
Kingfisher Camp is located within the Bowthorne Station, which is 600,000 acres of remote cattle country. We checked in at the office and found we were the only people at the camp at this stage. Just goes to show, if you can put up with a bit of heat and travel out of peak times, you can have some of these amazing places to yourself, or at least not that crowded. We set up and enjoyed the company of the locals, which included a rather large kingfisher.
Surprised that you're feeling this way. I've long known that you're bothered by something. I don't believe that you're right when you say that we're better off this way. I guess it's true as my mother did say, you can't trust a soul that's been shattered.
Unfortunately, we found a dead crop on the bank. He was just a small one. The caretaker suggested that it may have eaten a cane toad. As yet, they are not resilient to the toxin. Bugger, we're near the Northern Territory border, and these things have made it this far. As you travel this part of the country, you don't have to travel too far to find bits of the area's history and the people that made it. Well, it was all going on up here in the last half of the 1800s. The race was on to secure the overseas telegraph terminal for Queensland, and Burke and Wills were still wandering around trying to find the Gulf of Carpentaria. The Burketown bore was drilled by the then Queensland government in 1897. At a time, the sinking of the bore was an important new facility for Burketown and an indicator of the expected economic development in the area. The big meatworks and Burketown was to be a major centre for travelling stock. The bore continues to flow today, coming out of the ground at a temperature of 68 degrees C and over 700,000 litres a day. The Nadu-Burketown Road is a picturesque drive as you make your way towards the Gulf. You get to appreciate just how flat the country is, with numerous dry creek crossings that we imagine would be raging torrents during the wet season. Then you reach Leichhardt Falls. We had a booking at Karumba, otherwise we would have spent the night here. What a great spot. Whilst the falls don't have a large drop, the series of steps makes for some pretty impressive viewing. It was all about the dash to the ocean. Picture this, it was the cyclone season of early February 1861. The temperature was averaging 37 degrees Celsius. The expedition party established the Camp 119, where King and Grey would remain with the equipment and camels. Burke and Wills, seeking glory together, set out to reach the ocean, taking their horse Billy and 3 days' supply of food. What they hadn't planned on was the vast salt pans, boggy ground and mangrove forests, all throwing up barriers to them. Burke's disappointment is reflected in a rare entry in his notebook. It would be well to say that we reached the sea, but we could not obtain a view of the open ocean, although we made every endeavour to do so. We made it into Karumba, set up camp and had time to watch the final 10 laps of the Bathurst 1000 motor race before checking out the beach and the Sunset Bar. Bugger, the beer overtook the sunset tonight, but that's one thing about up here, there's always tomorrow. Join us next time as we explore Karumba, watch another amazing sunset, find a bloody big crocodile, and find ourselves caught in the middle of a massive storm.